70th episode of the Meeple Society, a podcast about board games hosted by two longtime role players turned avid board gamers. My name is Katie.
I'm Greg.
On this episode, we switch it up again. We talk about some of the games that are new to the collection. We talk about our GenCon schedule and expectations, a new crowdfunding delivery, and finally we dive into something old, something new, something borrowed, and, well, something that blew. I'll let Greg explain that one when we get to it.
When we get to them.
When we get to it. In the meantime.
So as Katie said, we have changed things up. We're kind of changing up the format a little bit. Things got stale. If we do delete anything that you guys really like, let us know in the comments, and maybe we'll bring it back. So let's talk about new to our collect. We have what? We have 8. We've bought 8 games since the last podcast.
We have bought 8 games since the last podcast. Yes,
We've only played a few of them.
Okay, so one came from. I'm looking through these really quick. One came from Goodwill. Actually, I think we've bought 2 came from Goodwill because her story we've already talked about since.
Yeah, we talked about her story last
time. So technically, we've bought 9. No, because whatever. Anyway, we'll go with the 8.
Yes.
So 1 came from Goodwill. 1, we'll come back to that. I don't remember how we got. Why did we buy Abduction? Oh, because we were out at Hitherto.
We were Hitherto. That was the Lacerda day that we were at.
And we ended up buying Abduction.
You really liked it and wanted to play it, so I said, okay, yeah, sure. It was a decent price, so we picked it up.
Well, you were curious about it because you'd seen us playing it at the 24. We didn't record it because the pieces are so teeny. It wouldn't have shown up very well.
I didn't know what to expect because it's Abduction with D-U-C-K in the middle of it. So, and you've got these little like rubber duckies,
but they're
in the
UFO. Acrylic. Yeah, it's cute.
And it if you're thinking you're going and abducting ducks, you're not abducting ducks. You're making patterns.
This is
on your board.
Completely abstracted.
This is kind of like if you've ever played the game Bazaar. This is kind of an abstract version of the abstract game of Bazaar, I guess you could say. And the things you're making the patterns with to match up with the cards that are out there to get that's how you get your points are little ducks of yellow and white and pink and blue.
Yes.
And they look like little bitty rubber.
In green.
Yeah, they look like little bitty rubber duckies.
Yeah. Only they're acrylic. They're gorgeous. They're beautiful. It's a beautiful production.
They look like if you had a dollhouse, these would be the rubber duckies that sit in the dollhouse tub. Yeah. They're that small.
Yes, they are very small.
They're hard to pick up.
Yeah. But the idea with this one is just that and we've played this a little bit. We've played this already once. I've played it twice now. So you will see this coming up on one of our Playing Through Our Collection videos in the future. But the basic idea with this one is that you are pulling ducks out of the UFO, hence abduction, and you are putting them on your board. They are swimming upstream. They're swimming in a specific pattern, and the whole goal of the game is you have to get these ducks to match a pattern that is set out on one of the cards in the table, one of the goal cards. And if you can get all of the colors to match one of those patterns, you pull all of those ducks off. They are being abducted. You put them back into the UFO and you draw new ducks out. Everybody files into line properly like good ducks do, and then you put the new ducks at the end of the line. And then you start all over again trying to play cards. You're playing cards out through this whole thing. You've got 3 cards in your hand. You get 3 actions each turn. And those 3 cards basically allow you to move ducks around, swap ducks with other players, take 2 off your board, move everything back into line, and put 2 new ones on. So it allows you to manipulate the ducks on your board so that you can match one of the patterns. You get 3 turns each round, which are your 3 cards. Your turn ends if and when you can make a match. That ends your turn. And then it moves on to the next person. And hopefully you didn't just take the card they were working on. Because that happens. So it's very interesting. I enjoy it. I enjoy the puzzle of it. The production is absolutely beautiful. It's really good. I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. After the virus, that was a
Goodwill find.
Yes, I know it's a Goodwill find, but it's kind of a deck builder because you're buying, we watched the video. We haven't played this one yet.
No, we've not played it.
We've watched the video.
Everybody has their own private deck. All the decks are identical. And certain things happen that put zombies into your deck, and if you pull out a zombie, you have to.
I think you start with some zombies.
You do start with a couple
one or
in your
two
deck.
zombies in your deck,
and then as the game progresses, they get far, and it's cooperative.
Yes,
it is a cooperative game, 1 to 3 players. So I'm not sure how it's going to play yet. We will report back on that one on one of the upcoming Playing Through Our Collection videos after we get it played. 2017, I think.
2017, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is by the designers of Terraforming Mars.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm curious about it. It has a pretty decent rating on BGG, if I remember correctly.
It was. I just had it up. You could have asked me that second. It's 7.3.
Okay. I mean, it's decent. So we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, we will report back on that one. All right. Another one we picked up was Explorers of the North Sea. This was the only one of the Shem Phillips series that we were missing.
North Sea series.
Of the North Sea series. Right. Because we don't have the last of the one that just came out. We don't have it yet.
Inventors of the South Tigris.
We don't have that one yet. And the one that was redone. I can't think of the name of it. Shipwrights.
We have the old version. We don't have the new version yet.
So, but we went ahead and picked up Explorers of the North Sea at the same time as buying all of the big boxes so that they look pretty on the shelf.
And they all matched. And we didn't have to complain about how are we packing this damn box.
Oh, I'm still complaining because the inserts suck. But
they give you an insert just to give you an insert.
Yes, they are not usable inserts.
It's like as if Mayfair did this inserts because all Mayfair's inserts were pretty much the same thing.
All of these were pretty much the same. They were very.
Yeah. It was just
of all the boxes I opened,
insert.
I think 3 of them had the exact same insert in them. And it was like no instruction on where they went or what you were supposed to do with them. They were designed to hold a certain size board, and that's it.
They were basically just selling you the box. They figured they'd throw an insert in, just, hey, let's see how many people actually use it.
Yeah.
But some of these,
one of them I
got
threw
recycled.
away the insert on. Yeah, I threw the insert away on one of them. Okay, but that's that one. Again, we've not played it yet.
We've not played it yet, so we'll report back on that one.
Yeah. All right, and the last 5 that we picked up yesterday at a garage sale at our local game store, Saltier Games and Toys, or Toys and Games, I think it is now. Every 4 months or so, 3 times a year, they just have a big garage sale type of thing where
patrons come in and sell their games.
Basically, everybody brings in games they want to get rid of, marks some prices at a certain time. Everything goes half off. We had completely forgotten about it. I've done this before, and we usually put something up there because everything you sell is basically store credit toward purchasing new games. So it's a win-win. Win for the store, win for the patrons. And I completely forgot about it this time around. For some reason, it just never made my calendar. Well, we stopped in there yesterday and ended up buying 5 different games. We picked up Holy Festival of Colors. I have been curious about this one for a while. It's a 3D board. It looks kind of like a cubic board, but I have a feeling there's a lot more to it.
Yes, there is.
I'm curious to try this one. So again, this one will show up on
and this
our
one
last,
we discussed
our next
on one
video.
of our early podcasts. Jessica talked about this.
Yes, Jessica had this one. Jessica and Mark bought this one, and I wanted to play it then, and it just never happened. So we'll get to this one, and we'll report back.
So we got Microbrew.
We did.
This is one that Jeff Knapp has talked about from Tabletop Toolbox. He talks about it a lot.
This is one of his favorite brewing type games.
And we happened to, it was just sitting on the table for $5, and it was half off already, so we paid $2.50 for it.
No, it was sitting there for $10. We paid $5.
We paid $5. Okay.
And I messaged him and asked, "Hey, is it worth $10?" He goes, "Absolutely. If you don't like it, I'll buy it from you."
Yeah.
So
and
we picked it up.
It had the Kickstarter like
coasters.
It looks like beer coasters or something for it that had part of the board on it.
It was a cute promo.
Except that they put tape on it, and when we were trying to calmly tape.
It was okay. It was painter's tape.
Yeah, but we were going gentle with trying to get it off. But it looks like it had been on there for a while.
Yeah,
and
it did not come off very
to
well.
So there's some spots on the cards that are missing.
Yeah,
on
unfortunately.
But you don't need them. They were just Kickstarter bloat, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, there are cards in the game itself that replace those.
So another one we played last night. It was actually
dokey.
You bought this as a joke.
I totally
because you
bought
said
this
I
as
know
a joke.
a lot of people that say
this.
okie dokie all the time. And
I
we got it out
totally
and
bought it as a
played
joke.
it.
It was $3, half off, $1.50. How could you pass that up? I totally intended to hand this off to Chrissy or Journey or one of the other people I know that just are constantly saying okie dokie.
Did you say
to
Chris
me.
Yee?
Chrissy.
Oh, I thought you said Chris Yee. I was like, going, I don't think I've ever heard Chris talk about this.
Chrissy from work.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Okay.
So
This is
yes.
a Hashiayoshi.
It is, and we did not
however
realize,
you pronounce that.
We didn't realize that until we got it home.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we played this last night. We've actually played it twice. So, super fast game.
Yes.
It plays 1 to 5 players. Depending on the player count, everybody has a certain number of cards in their hands. Okay, fine. So, with 2 players, you have 7 cards in your hands. The goal is you have to make a series of notes.
Mm-hmm.
Notes are the note cards are numbered 1 through 8, and then you have some equal cards that make the game easier. And then you also have your reset cards, which are zeros. Essentially, you have 5 rows. You need to make 10 columns of those 5 rows. And each row can only have a certain color in them. They have to progress up, the numbers do, so from 1 to 8. If you start with a 3, then you're going to have to use one of those reset cards to reset yourself back to 0, because the next card always has to be higher than the one previous to it. So I can't play a 1 after a 3. I have to play a 4 or through an 8, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
So we played it the first time, and we didn't realize the importance of those reset cards. There's 10 reset cards and 10 rows, and you have to play some of them. You have no choice. With the equal cards in there, you get away with not having to play all of them, but you have to play at least 8 of them or so.
Mm-hmm.
The trick is you can only have 1 reset card per column.
Yeah, that was the tricky part.
That was the part. And you can talk about who's going to do the resets and where you want to do the resets. So there is some communication allowed.
And
obviously,
you could say
you
kind of
can't
like
show
in
your hand or anything.
kind of like in something like the mine and the game and some other
Yeah.
ones. Is like going, well, I could really do something with that,
Yeah.
but you can't tell them what you
What
can do.
you
Is
can
like
do.
going, I've got
I
something
have a
for that
whole bunch
row.
of cards for this row.
I got a
Leave
bunch
that
of the
row
ones
alone.
for the blue. If
Yeah.
we want to do, let me take care of that.
Yeah, so we really enjoyed it. The first one we kind of screwed up. Like I said, we didn't realize the importance of the reset cards. So we when we realized we weren't going to win it, we just stopped and we reset everything. We played again, and we enjoyed it. It's a quick 10-minute game, super easy, but yet super thinky.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, totally enjoyed that one. But that is okie dokie.
Yeah, and this is a reskin of the game Level 10, and it
Yes.
plays the exact same thing. It looks
Yes.
like it's Okie Dokie has less artwork. Level 10 has some really cool artwork. It looks like that 8-bit cartoon kind of video
okay.
game kind of
Makes
artwork on it.
sense. I don't know. I really liked I loved how the look of it. I loved the feel of it. It was open, but apparently it was brand new because the cards hadn't even been shuffled yet.
Yeah.
So it had never been played. So
Okay.
win-win.
So another one we got is one that I really wanted to play,
Yes.
and that's Trismegistus.
Yeah.
This is
one's-
another one of the T
yeah.
games.
Still in shrink. I know nothing about it, so I'm
No,
not going to be
we
of
got
any
it
help.
we got that one for $30.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, we paid 30 for it.
So we'll let you know once we play it. I've heard different reviews of it, ups and downs.
Yeah.
This is
Worth trying.
It's from 2019. It has a 7.6.
Okay.
So it's a Daniel Tessini game. So it's part of the T series.
All right, and the last one we picked up yesterday, I went right by it somehow. I don't know how I missed this sitting on the table. And Greg came 2 minutes behind me and saw it and grabbed it. But it's Spirits of the Wild. Now, we already have a couple copies of this game. I lucked into this game oh my gosh, when it first came out in California. I was out visiting my mom. My brother and I were checking stores for something he was looking for, and I happened to see it. 2-player game, looks cute. 2-player strategy game at that, looks cute. I'll grab it. Didn't even notice it was put out by Mattel, or I might have thought twice about it if I'd realized it was a Mattel game. But I grabbed it, $20, and we have thoroughly enjoyed it all these years. I found a second copy on Amazon, Facebook Marketplace or something, and we grabbed it a few years later for the travel collection, just because it is so hard to find.
Yeah. We see posts all the time about
Wanting to
I want
find
to play
them.
this game, but
Yeah.
you can't find it anymore, or you have to pay
Yeah.
a bunch of money for it.
Yeah. Well, we found this one last night, marked $15. Our son and his wife, Joshua and Jackie, absolutely adored this game when they borrowed it from us 6 months ago. So we saw it, we grabbed it, we gave it to them as a gift. They were so excited. So I'm very happy that they ended up with a copy of their own now. On top of that, there was a bonus game inside.
Yeah.
The previous owners had apparently stuffed a game of Voltage in there, which we own also. It's a two-player strategy card game. So I recognized the pieces as soon as I opened the box, and luckily all the pieces are there, all the cards are there. So yay, bonus. So they just don't have the box for Voltage anymore. But yeah, that is what we picked up this week.
Yeah, Jackie was all giddy about getting that game. She kept looking back. She's like, I want to play that game right now.
Yeah, she was super excited.
Of our Splendor game. And the game was sitting there on the shelf behind her. Well, on their...
credenza right behind them.
Whatever you want to call it.
Buffet, credenza, whatever, yeah.
Does anybody say credenza anymore?
Apparently I still do.
You're just old. Okay.
Anyway.
So... let's continue on. We discussed it. We were talking about our GenCon schedule.
Oh, my goodness.
So we're going to GenCon this year.
I didn't grab my... You have it on your
I have
app.
a schedule. I have the schedule. GenCon has this cool app. If you've added stuff to your schedule, if you bought tickets for events and stuff, they put it on a schedule. They also have it where if you click on the event and click on the map icon, it'll show you exactly where it is at in GenCon now. So...
that's nice, because my paper version won't do that.
Yeah, that's really cool. So if you're going to Gen Con and you're in any one of these, we'll see you there. So first thing we're going to do on Thursday at 12 noon, we are going to go play Creature Caravan. This is a tableau of creatures while traveling. You're building a tableau of creatures while traveling through a magnificent and dangerous lands. I keep saying I'm trying to remember the person who made this game.
I have no idea. I'm not going to be of much help here.
I'm thinking it's the same people that did Creatures Comfort. Let me look this up real quick. I think that's why I did it.
Yep.
Creatures Caravan 2024. That's what I thought. It's a Ryan Lockett game. That's why I did it, because we were interested in doing some more of the Ryan Lockett games.
Because we enjoyed Sleeping Gods so much.
Yeah, because we really were enjoying Sleeping Gods. So that is our first one. It's over in Hall C. Okay, so the second thing of the day is at 3 p.m., and that is the Reef Project launch party.
Yeah. Now, I keep thinking of the Reef as the game we have, which I do enjoy, but I don't think that's what this is.
No,
this is a game called the Reef Project, isn't it?
Yes.
And I don't know anything about it, but, it's fish. So
this
how bad can it
is Board and Dice. It was about become a hero of the Reef Restoration Project and save the ocean.
Okay.
I figured, you really liked the spill.
Yes.
Because you're cleaning up oil rigs. Well, this one you're trying to save a reef.
Okay.
And all the
sounds good to me.
All the stuff around it. So
it's worth checking out.
Yeah, and I've seen it on a lot of people's hot list that they want to check out.
Okay.
So.
Well, yay, we got tickets for it.
Mm-hmm. After that, we got a pretty decently heavy Thursday. We won't be doing a lot of the hall. Because Thursday at 7 p.m., after the hall is actually closed now, you get to go play River Valley Glassworks.
Yes.
You kickstarted this, and now you get to go play it before you get it.
I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this one. I'm looking forward to getting it. I'm looking forward to playing it. So this will be fun.
Yep. After 7 p.m., we may be tired and head home.
I don't know.
But
we're going to have company
hang out
in,
and go see if anybody's playing games, because apparently over in the JW Marriott Hotel, they have a open games area now, which they have flags of people looking for people to play or people to teach games. Not sure if they have a library, which I doubt because GenCon has their own that you have to pay to get into and only be in there for a certain amount of time. But it's going to be people bringing games and wanting to play the games with other people, so we may just go over there and check that out afterwards. Okay, so we move on over to Friday. We have our first thing Friday is at 12 noon. We are playing the Art Project, or the ART Project. This is a game that I've looked at quite a few times, and some of the game stores around us have it, and we thought about picking it up. Then I was like, well, let's see if it's a GenCon, and because we've gotten to the point with our game collection that if we don't really know a lot about the games, we want to play it first or check it out some way before we just buy it.
Getting rid of games we don't like is just too hard, so it's just easier to make sure we're going to like them before we buy them.
Yeah. So we are going to play this one. Like I said, this is at noon. It just says Indiana Convention Center. We are in Hall B.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is by the OP. So yeah, it's a 1 to 6 player game.
It's cooperative.
Play a ragtag group trying to rescue the world's art from the White Hand. So it sounds cool. Yeah. We'll find out.
Yeah,
That's why it's
cooperative, so I'm all for it.
So the next one at 6 p.m. on Friday, this is going to be over at Lucas Oil Stadium. This is the World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King. Now, this is going to be the only pandemic-ish game. This is in the pandemic system that we have not played.
Okay.
So, and that's one reason we're going to play it. I've also wanted to play it.
Yeah, I'm curious about it.
You're not into the whole World of Warcraft thing?
I'm not into the theme. That's the reason we've not bought it. But
I wanted to see how it played.
Sure. We can see
so, that's it on Friday. We are done probably at about 8 o'clock p.m. and probably head back over to the JW again and see if we can get any games. So if you're available after 8 o'clock on Friday and you're there, look us up. We more likely be over at the JW. Then we are going to Saturday. Saturday could be a big day, could be a short day. We don't know.
For Justin, it'll probably be a long day. For me, it will be very short.
The two of us, and then Justin and Jackie, have entered the Splendor tournament.
Yes.
That's the reason why we were just playing Splendor the other day.
We've played it like 4 or 5 times in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, we've played it a bunch.
I have yet to win it.
So this is the Splendor mini tournament. It starts at 10. It's over at the Lucas Oil Stadium. So if you want to come and cheer us on,
there you go.
Look for us, and we'll be there. Yeah, this could be interesting.
Well, and I'd like to say the one Splendor tournament we ever entered was back at Saltier's before they switched locations.
Yes.
And I did win it. I won the grand prize.
Yes.
I was very proud of myself. I did not win any of our test games.
No, you did not.
Not even one.
I won one, and Justin won the other 3.
Yes.
Hopefully it gets over before 4 o'clock, because at 4 o'clock we are going back over to the convention center and playing Aquatica Coral Reef.
Even if it's not over by 4 o'clock, something tells me we will have been eliminated by 4 o'clock.
Okay, let me restate. Hopefully our gameplay of it, our participation in the tournament, although I would love to win it.
Oh, I
don't know what the prize is, but that would be absolutely awesome to be able to win it.
Yeah.
Let me click on and see if it talks about anything.
It's only scheduled for 4 hours. It'll be over by 2.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about it. If you're winning anything.
It's all good.
Final to follow immediately after preliminary round. So this is the preliminary round. So there could be a final. So you could end up with more time to play if you're in the finals.
True. Potentially.
Okay, so that's the Splendor tournament. Come on over at 10 a.m. over at Lucas Oil Stadium and cheer us on. Maybe we can get past the first game.
I will be happy if I get past the first round. But the way I've been playing, I'm not counting on it.
Okay, and as I said, at 4 p.m., we are going to go play Aquatica Coral Reef. We just got done playing the Cold Waters expansion that we've had for a little bit, and finally got to play it with both of us. You'd actually already played it.
We did not play the expansion. We just played the base game.
Okay.
Yes.
But we played. There's some things of it that I really liked, some things of it I did not like.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this one works out, and we probably, if they sell in it and it doesn't sell out, we may come home with it.
Potentially. Especially if I can fit it in the box.
So after 6 o'clock on Saturday, we are free again.
Yeah. We don't have anything else scheduled after that.
Yep. So we'll probably end up back over there playing more games.
At that point, the dealer hall will be closed. So, most likely.
Okay. And then Sunday,
we're free.
I guess it's walking the dealer hall and playing games wherever we can and jumping into some demos if we can.
Yep. That's the plan.
Sunday is totally free. So if you're there on Sunday too and you want to sit down and play a game or have a game you want to play and want us to play with you, let us know. So that is our schedule for GenCon. Hook us up in the comments. Well, if you're listening to this when this drops, GenCon's in 3 days, correct? Because this drops on Monday.
GenCon starts Thursday, yes.
So 3 days?
Yes.
So we'll be at GenCon in 3 days. So let's move on out of that
Okay.
and talk about your expansion that you got for the expansion on Kickstarter. It's the first time I've ever seen an expansion get an expansion.
Right. This is we had one Kickstarter come in this week, and that was Terraforming Mars Prelude 2.
Mm-hmm.
Prelude is what is considered an essential expansion for Terraforming Mars. It basically gives you a jump start on your resources and gives you a direction on where to go when the game is first starting out.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is Prelude 2. It is essentially just more stuff. Nothing special. It doesn't change anything. It is literally just more stuff.
More Prelude cards.
Yeah, more Prelude cards.
More cards to go in that deck of 2,000 cards.
There's not that many.
Might
And
well
no,
be.
none of those cards.
Oh, none of those?
No, we didn't get any actual game cards. It's just the
It's just
Prelude cards. Yeah. Yeah, and I haven't looked through it thoroughly. I kind of opened the box and stuffed it into the big box, and I didn't actually look through it because we're going to be playing it here coming up. Well, probably not till middle of next year at this rate, but I'll look through it more then. But it has come in, so I was excited, and it sounds like we have a couple others that are on boats. And
Yes, Deep Shelf is supposedly on a boat. Actually, I thought they said Deep Shelf had landed. So we should be expecting that sometime soon. Andromeda's Edge is now shipped out. They're expecting delivery to start in September.
Nice.
So which would be cool if it's in before the retreat. We could take down the retreat and play it down there.
That'd
People
be
would be like,
great.
ooh, what is this?
Oh, I'm sure other people that are going to be there have backed it as well.
But still, it'll look cool on the table and
Yes.
get a lot of people to play it.
Yes, agreed. No, there's a few things. I think I saw that Theme Park Mania should be delivering soon. I think I saw something about Hamlet soon.
What about transmission? I can't remember if I got a notification.
Yeah,
of
transmission
being
should
done
be
yet or
coming
not.
too soon. So yeah, there's quite a few that should be here shortly.
Okay. So let's go on to our new section here. This is kind of replacing right now the playing through our collection section. This is
It kind of replaces both a little bit, both games we've played and
yeah.
because we're kind of combining.
Yep. This is the something old, something new, something borrowed, and something that blew. And we have what? Two new games, one old game, and something that I thought blew. In our opinion, it blew.
Yeah.
So one of the new games we've already kind of discussed.
We did,
and that is
actually.
Abduction. Do we have anything else to continue on with
No.
Abduction?
Go back some to the beginning and listen to that if you're curious. But yeah, Abduction, cute game about abducting ducks,
Yeah.
throwing them into the little flying
The
saucer, the
flying
UFO,
saucer.
and
Which I thought is that I guess it's abducting once you get them in line and then
Yeah.
they go back up. But
Well,
you
yeah,
pull them back
because-
out of the saucer. It's like going, here, you can have these, but I'm taking these.
yes.
You're abducting the person who abducted the ducks in the first place.
There you go, abducting from the there you go. Whatever, you get the idea. Anyway, the other new one that we played, we finally finished off, and this one we can't say a lot about it because it is a legacy game, and well, you know the rules. This is Pandemic Legacy Season 0. We finally got it done, and I shouldn't say finally. We only played it for like 2 or 3 months. It's not like it lasted a year.
Yeah, we played it a lot faster than
We
I think than the other ones we played.
Than any Legacy we've ever played. But we thoroughly enjoyed this one. I loved the Cold War theme, or no, it wasn't even Cold War. It was like World War I type
No, it was
theme.
the 60s.
Was it the
Yeah, it
60s?
was the 60s.
Maybe it was
So
Cold
it
War
was.
then.
It was right around the Cuban Missile Crisis
Okay.
time, I
right.
believe.
So, and if we're wrong, I'm sorry, but it is all about secret spies and surveillance setups, and it was a lot of fun.
1962, the Cold War
Okay,
continues.
that's what I thought. It was Cold War. Okay, so what was it that was World War I then that I was thinking of? But it
World
had
War
to have been
One is
something
I
else.
Spy.
Maybe that's what it was. We talked about I Spy a couple episodes ago, so that's had to be where I was getting my time frames confused. Anyway, it is true pandemic in the form, in the aspect that you've got your 4 actions, you are pulling cards at the end of every turn, you've got your epidemics per se that put more spies out on the board, and you're trying to go through and take spies out and remove them from the board so that the spy networks don't expand like the
plagues.
Thank you. The diseases normally do. I totally lost that word.
Yeah,
So,
and this ramps up as it goes.
oh well, and like any good legacy game does,
that's what I said. And it
definitely
ramps up, so more things coming into the game. And this one, if you've not played season 1, I would definitely, if you haven't played any of them, I would say definitely play this first because it blends right into the next one.
It really does.
And then, I guess season 2 blends into
It does.
To 1.
You get some, well, and I think some of the aha moments in this one, you really need to have played 1 and 2 to understand and to have that aha moment.
But it would give you an aha moment quicker in season 1 if you've played season 0.
Yes. So play them in your own order, but I thoroughly love this one. If I had to say I had a favorite, and here's a little preview to our pandemic ranking system, this was my favorite of the legacies.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really enjoyed this one. I think it did enough different. It was still that same game you love.
Yes.
But there was just
enough
difference to really make it interesting again.
Even the player sheets.
Yes.
Those are cool.
Yes.
And I don't really want to say what they are, but they are these I have to be the
I'll have
best
to go back.
player
Character sheets, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to go back and
how do you describe that without giving anything away about this?
Well, we'll have to go back and look to see what is common knowledge just by looking at the page on BGG or whatever before we do our ranking system, so we know what we can and cannot say or show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
I almost feel like saying
I don't want to show anything that isn't readily available out there.
Yeah. I almost want to say if you don't want to hear any spoilers, move ahead.
Jump ahead to the next segment.
Well, the next game that we talk about.
Yes.
But I almost wanted to say what the player pieces
Okay,
are. They're so cool.
Okay, so let's do this then.
Okay.
If you've played this, keep listening. See if you agree with us. If you've not played this,
and don't want
plan
this to be a
play
spoiler
it,
and want to be surprised when you open up the box,
then jump ahead. I feel this has been out long enough. It's been out for a few years.
Yeah, jump ahead maybe 2 minutes.
So,
I'm not going to talk about it that long.
Well, that's true. Yeah, because on YouTube, you just jump ahead to the next link. But, yeah, just kind of fast forward for just a second.
Or put us on mute.
There you go.
I would say, and then we'll wave when we're done, but
that doesn't work either.
If you're listening to it on YouTube, maybe
Again,
Katie will put that link there.
I'll put the timestamp in there. Absolutely.
Okay, so if you're still listening and want to hear, and hasn't even played it, but still want to hear it though, I think one of the coolest parts about this whole game is the player pieces. The player pieces,
not the pieces, the boards,
the
boards.
Characters. Yeah. They're actually passports.
Yeah.
And you have 3 identifications in a passport that you're going to be flipping back and forth throughout the game. It is so cool.
Yes.
Because each identity you build with different skills to be able to do.
Yes.
So, like I said, that's I think is one of the coolest things about the game.
Yeah. I agree. I have to agree. I really enjoyed. There was one section where it told you to pull all of the things out of the box, and on the bottom of the box there was something. And I'm not going to spoil what it is, but we got there's nothing here.
Okay,
there's
that's enough.
nothing under it.
That's enough. Don't say nothing else.
We did find it.
You'll find
We'll
it.
leave
Trust
it at
us.
that.
If you haven't played it, you'll find it.
It was so cool. Anyway, I think that was one of
we'll
my
leave
favorite
that to
parts.
them going, whoa. Anyway,
Anyway.
So we're done with spoiling things.
Yes. Okay, so that is Pandemic Legacy Season 0. Highly, highly recommended by us.
So we have an old game that we got to play.
Yeah, we didn't have anything borrowed this round.
No, we didn't have anything borrowed, but we did have an old game.
Okay.
And we just played that yesterday with Justin and Jackie. After our 2 plays of Splendor. And this is the multiplayer of Pentago.
Yes. Now, we have both versions of Pentago. I found Pentago at Goodwill, regular 2-player Pentago with the marbles years ago. And we've always enjoyed that strategy game.
Yeah, and that's a 2x2 square.
Yes.
That has a...
They're 3x3 holes on a 2x2 rotating board.
Yes.
If that makes any sense at all. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll show a picture. This one, though, I found this at Goodwill, I don't know, a year ago or so. It's Pentago, but this one's multiplayer. It plays up to 4-player. You can either play 2, 3, or 4-player on it. I don't think 2-player would work well because it's too much space. Mm-hmm. I think if you're going to do 2-player, just do the regular 2-player game. But
this one, the squares are 4x4.
No, the squares are still 3x3.
No, the squares
have
are
4x4
that rotate in a 3x3 grid.
Were they really? I thought they were still. I'm going back to look at the pictures, guys, because I thought they were still 3, but I have some pictures.
No, they do show it's 3. I could have sworn they were 4.
See, I'm not losing my mind.
I'm losing my mind, I guess.
Yes,
I could have sworn they were 3x3.
So it's a 9-square board, 3x3 in square size, and then each square holds 3 tokens. Let me rephrase that. 3x3 tokens, so each square holds 9 tokens.
Yeah.
So.
And you're trying to get to 5 again, but now you have a total of 9 squares to be able to rotate around, trying to get yours to fit together.
So the base idea of Pentago, you put a piece down. The main goal is to get 5 of your tokens in a row. Mm-hmm. Diagonally, horizontally, vertically, however you want to do it, 5 tokens in a row. They can span anywhere from 2, 3, or in this case, 4 boards, 4 of the smaller boards. Once you've laid a piece down, you can turn any one of the boards that are on there. All 4 in the regular game, 9 in the multiplayer game. Turn. They lift up and they turn. They pivot. So the idea is that you put your piece down somewhere and then you flip you turn it 90 degrees, one of your opponents, something that's holding some of your opponent's pieces, to screw up whatever plans they had. Mm-hmm. It's an interesting twist on it. This reminds me a lot of Pente, but it adds that twist of the rotating boards.
Yes.
Smaller player area, rotating boards. Mm-hmm. But other than that, it is exactly Pente.
Yeah, and I was wondering if Justin and Jackie would like this, and we got done with the first game, and it was like, let's play this again.
Yeah.
So we don't have too many games that all of a sudden they just like, let's play that again.
Yeah, it was short enough.
Let's try that again.
Now that we understand it, let's do it again.
And we could have probably sat there almost the rest of the night playing this, but there was something else. Oh, it was getting late.
It was starting to get late.
It was getting late for the old people, and we ain't talking about us.
Yeah, the dogs were ready to go upstairs to bed.
It was like 10 till 8 maybe on a Saturday night. And 2 other people like, looking at their dogs like, it's time to go upstairs now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Their dogs are old.
The dogs are old.
And they're old.
Anyway. All right, so much enjoyed this game. I've never seen another copy since. Obviously, it was produced because we have a copy, but I've seen Pentago all the time.
Yeah, it came out in 2009. Yeah.
I know the 2-player version is still in stores because I do see it in stores all the time, but I've not seen this multiplayer version very often. Well, just the once. All right.
Trying to see what else the designer of this game made, if anything else other than Pentago.
It's Pente.
Nope, mostly Pentago. Okay. Pentago Triple, Pentago Multiplayer, Pentago XL, and Nians.
Pentago XL.
Pentago XL.
That sounds interesting.
This is... it's a wooden board is the one they're showing, and there's little grooves around the outside to put all your... it has marbles.
Oh. So it's still a 3x3 grid.
It's a 3x3 grid, so it's still a 4-player game.
Yeah. But that came out in 2005, so good luck finding that one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Moving on. Then the game that Greg said he didn't like, I had my reasons.
It wasn't a game for us.
Correct.
We are not humongous movie buffs.
No. And this is all about the movies.
And this was called Pass the Popcorn, which is pretty much kind of a movie trivia game.
I like what it did.
Yes.
I can appreciate the way the game is supposed to play. Mm-hmm. And if you are a huge movie buff,
this would be a
great game.
Yes.
We are not.
No.
That being said, it was also put out 20 years ago, 2008-ish, I want to say, is what I saw when I looked it up.
It was in 2008, correct.
Yeah. So Again, all of the references are older, which did make it a little easier because at least I knew who some of the people were that they were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But so there was 2 games in this box technically.
Yes, there is.
One is it was like actor challenge, or I don't remember exactly what they called it.
The movie game. It was just rules for Pass the Popcorn, the movie game, and then Pass the Popcorn. What was the other one? Star Connection.
That's right. I had it written down. So we pulled out the stuff for the movie game. And the idea with that one is you have 2 cards in front of you that identify a specific thing. Could be the storyline, could be the actors, could be the cast, could be something, the characters. There were different subjects.
Which one are you talking about?
The movie game.
Kind of the movie game.
Yeah.
It gives you a date, a year,
right,
and a genre.
Right. But every player had those 2 cards in front of them. That's how they started their game. Okay. And then whoever's reading the card gives you the genre and the year.
Yes.
That's it. And you can decide which of the 2 cards you're going to use, whether you're going to use the character card or the storyline card or the cast card. And there was one other, and I don't remember what it was now. So then you choose which one you're doing. They give you that clue. And I don't have it in front of me. I would give you an example. But if you can get it based on that clue, then you get the card. However, anybody else who's playing, it's a 1 to 8 player game, who has that same storyline card or tile can also guess it and take the card from you. So we didn't actually play through this one because it was just the 2 of us. And again, we're not huge movie buffs. We did, however, play through the Star Connection game. Star Connection game, well, this is like 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon in card form.
Kind of, yeah.
That's exactly what this is.
Yeah, because you get 7 cards.
You get 7 cards.
And 1 card gets turned over, and it has an actor's name on it and some movies that he's been in.
Sample movies, yes.
Now, it's not all the movies the actor's been in, but it's some of them.
It's just something to give you a reference.
Out of your 7 cards, you're trying to lay down cards on top of it that go with them, like, say, it's Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
So now you're trying to find cards with actors
who have
that
starred
with him in other movies.
In some other movie, yes.
And each card has points on it.
Yeah.
And the whole goal is to get rid of as many cards as you can, if not all of your cards. And the round ends when somebody gets rid of all their cards, or
when nobody can play,
else.
when everybody's stuck.
And then you count up all the points in your hand, and you tally those up, and then at the end of so many rounds, whoever has the least amount of points wins the game. Yeah.
Again, we got stuck because, again, I recognized all the names of the actors, but I couldn't tell you what movies they were in, and I just don't watch movies very often.
No, neither one of us do.
And if I do watch the movies,
more than you do, but
I don't pay attention to actors' names and things like I just don't. So. I mean, I know your big ones, and I did recognize most of their names, but I couldn't tell you what they were in. So.
Yep. Here's one of those cards from the other version of the game.
Okay.
Because, like I said, this would be a 1975 musical that you'd be trying to guess, and then, like you said, you had 1, 2, 3, 4 different tokens. You only have 2 tokens in front of you. So,
right.
So
storyline cast. Storyline cast.
There was a quote.
Quote. That was the one I couldn't think of. Okay.
Cast, and then characters.
Characters, right. Which would be the characters in the show versus the actual actors.
So say you wanted to know some of the cast from the 75 musical. Susan Sarandon and Tim Curry.
Holy crap, I have no idea.
I know you haven't seen this movie.
I haven't seen the movie. Okay, so what's the storyline?
Yeah. The storyline is a young couple with car trouble seeks refuge in a castle of a transvestite mad scientist, played by Tim Curry.
I'm assuming Susan Sarandon was probably part of the young couple, because that would have 75. Yeah. I have no clue.
So characters were
I've never heard of this
Dr.
movie.
Frankenfurter and
good Lord.
Riff Raff were some of the characters.
Good Lord.
And the quote was, "Let's do the time warp again." I know there's people that listen to this podcast right now are like going, How does she not know that this is Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Oh, because I've never seen. Okay.
Yeah, you've never seen Rocky Horror Picture.
No.
I have. I see it back in the day.
Yeah.
When you went and you brought groceries with you.
Oh Lord!
And before
I
the move,
almost went in high school, but we just never did.
It's a crazy atmosphere. I mean, if it's your first time, you don't want them to know, because if they know you're a virgin to the movie, they're going to start auctioning you off.
It's awful.
But people are throwing tomatoes at the screen because there's parts in the movie where it tells you to throw tomatoes, so you're throwing tomatoes or cabbage or different stuff.
I would have totally hated to work at a movie theater back then.
Right?
Oh my gosh!
And this was the 80s, I think, when
80s.
I went into there.
Yeah, I remember it being still in theaters when I was in high school.
Yeah. But this was the
went.
80s when I went and saw it. So.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, it's a crazy movie.
Nope. Would have never guessed that.
Okay,
one.
but yeah, that's kind of how you played that.
Well, I think it was probably a good game, and we will hold on to it. I'm sure we haven't really discussed it.
With that collection, there are movie buffs out there.
We know people who are huge movie buffs.
Yes, we do.
It's just not us.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway.
So there's one more on here I did not put on here.
Okay.
That we have a little bit of time that we can discuss it.
Okay.
I just wanted to get your opinions on the game first.
Okay.
And then we'll ask the other two people that are involved in it later. But that is Tales from the Loop. We've played one game of this now.
We have played one game.
This is a cooperative about the series of Tales from the Loop. I seen the first one and got halfway through the second episode and was like, this is just really, really weird and it's hard to follow.
I got 15 minutes into the first one. I went to bed. I couldn't follow it.
So
I was not interested.
We bought this game a while back.
Yeah. This is one of our Western
trips out
swings,
to Arizona.
Yeah.
And we finally got it to the table a couple of weeks ago.
With Doug and Sarah, two friends that we do a lot of cooperative games with them.
And
about once a month. I felt it was more complex than it needed to be.
Oh, most definitely more complex.
There were a lot of icons we had to keep looking up. Mm-hmm. I felt like we were in the rule book on every single turn.
Pretty much,
literally
yes.
Every turn we were digging back into the rule book for something.
And we have a friend that loves this game.
Yes.
Ben loves this game.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind, and we'll probably see him at GenCon, so maybe we'll talk to him and ask him, okay, tell us what we're missing. I'm not against giving it another shot, but man, tell me what we're missing. What did we do wrong? Because we went with the game that they suggested for your first play. And then afterwards, Sarah started looking this up, and she goes, yeah, everybody says don't play this one for your first play.
I looked it up
you
on
both
BGGs
did. Okay.
where I was finding it.
And they were saying don't play this one for your first play because it's the hardest scenario. Why would they tell you to do the hardest scenario for your initial game?
Yeah, because it kind of turned me off of this game.
It really has.
Yeah.
I'm not pleased with the mechanics of it. I'm not pleased with the story. I mean, the storyline was okay. I don't know. I thought it would be more fun than it was. Dystopian world, teenagers, or you're playing adolescent kids. You got to be home by dinner time or you get yourself grounded. It just sounded like a humorous storyline.
Yeah.
But in play, it really wasn't. It was harder than I felt it needed to be.
Yeah, because I was even seeing posts about, because there's one of the things you can go in there, you can hack into the bots.
Yeah.
And
did
drive
we ever
them around.
hack one? We never
successfully
got into
one.
did.
No.
Yeah, we never could.
But it's basically you're just hacking into them and riding them around. They're going to give you extra movement. Basically, there's nothing really going on. And I've seen posts where it's like, you could play this game and never hack into the bot. There's never anything that tells you have to hack into that bot.
The goal is you have to get these rumor cards done. That's the big goal.
Yeah, and it's like the bots are just there to sidetrack you.
Yeah.
Because there's certain things you can't do when you're around the bots, and the bots move around the board.
Yeah.
So maybe you're trying to get them to go away. I don't know. But it just did not... It sounded like there was a bunch of stuff. There's like, let's put this, and this in there, and just try and make it a game. And if you've played this game and you like it...
Tell us what we're missing.
We're happy for you. It just is missing with us.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll play this again.
I feel like we missed something.
Yeah.
But I don't know what.
I don't know what it would be.
No, I don't either.
But
So.
yeah, because we're looking at now playing role player adventures.
Yes,
So.
I'm super excited about that
So
one.
I don't know if this one will get back to the table or not, Tales from the Loop, but we'll see. We'll let you know.
I think it's going to depend on what kind of comments we get from listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us what we missed. If you enjoy this game, tell us what we missed. Because I wouldn't. I'm on board with giving it another try if we missed something, but I don't want to experience the same game we just did.
Yep.
That's what it boils down to.
So that is going to wrap up episode 70. If you like this episode or any of our content and haven't subscribed to the podcast, please do so by going to iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast and give us a rating and comment. This is how others can find the show. But in the meantime, if you want to follow us on social media just to keep up with us and see what we're doing, just follow the link in the show notes. There you'll find links to Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube, Threads, Discord, and our merch shop. Or you can contact us directly at meeplesociety@mail.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you at the next one.